The homeless man who gave his blanket didn't know he was saving a prince. The winter wind crawled like sharp fingers along the alleyways of the city, scraping at walls, creeping into the holes of old brick and broken glass. The sky above was bruised gray, heavy with clouds that spilled thick, silent snow onto the streets below. And no one noticed the man curled beneath the crumbling remains of a forgotten building. Jared sat with his knees drawn to his chest, shivering beneath a coat too thin for autumn, let alone winter. His shoes, mismatched, cracked, the soles nearly gone, were stiff as boards. Every breath made a little cloud in the air before him. The bitter cold crept into his bones, but Jared had known worse. 1,000 nights like this. He stared at the weak, flickering fire in the garbage can before him, orange light dancing on the wet pavement. The fire gave little heat. His blanket, patched and torn from years of use, lay folded beside him, his only possession worth guarding. It wasn't much, but it had saved him from freezing to death more times than he cared to count. People hurried past the alley mouth, bundled in thick coats and scarves, heads down against the snow, eyes carefully avoiding his corner of the world. To them, he was just another shadow in the city's underbelly. Another man forgotten. Jared had once had a life before this, an apartment, a job, even a family. But life was a thin thread, and his had snapped the day his mother died. No one had caught him when he fell. No helping hand. No mercy. Still, somehow, here he was. Alive. Waiting. For what, he no longer knew. A gust of wind swept the street, scattering papers and biting his cheeks like glass. Jared pulled the coat tighter around him, shifting his weight, his back against the frozen brick. And then the silence shattered. A loud screech of tires, a car, fast, out of control, echoed off the buildings. Headlights flashed wildly across the snow. Jared jerked his head up just as the black car slid across the intersection, spinning on the ice. A sudden crash, metal twisted, glass exploded, a street lamp toppled with a terrible groan. For a moment, all was still again. Then the driver's door creaked open. A young man stumbled out, clutching his head, blood staining the side of his pale face. His dark tuxedo was torn at the shoulder, his fine shoes slipping in the slush. Jared's heart jumped. The man staggered 2 steps and collapsed into the snow, shivering violently. No coat. No scarf. No gloves. The city stayed blind. Cars slowed, then sped away. No one came. But Jared moved. He threw aside the blanket, grabbed the blanket, the only thing he owned that kept him alive, and ran. His feet slapped the ice. His breath burned. He reached the fallen man and knelt beside him. Hey, stay with me, man. Jared's voice was rough, cracking from the cold. The young man's eyes fluttered open, unfocused. His lips were blue. His skin pale as paper. Jared knew that look. He had seen men freeze to death before. It started this way, the slow fading, the shaking, the silence at the edge of life. Without thinking, Jared ripped his own blanket from his shoulders, wrapped it tight around the young man's body, pulling him close, trying to share what little warmth he had left. Don't quit on me, man. Don't you dare quit, Jared muttered, rocking him gently. Stay awake. Help is coming. But no help came. 4 endless minutes, Jared held him there, shielding him from the wind. His own body shook. His fingers went numb. His breath slowed. Finally, sirens. Flashing lights. Police cars. An ambulance. And strange black SUVs, sleek and shining, pulling up fast. Men in dark suits jumped out, shouting into radios. Medics rushed forward. They gathered the young man, lifting him carefully onto a stretcher, his face so pale, so still. Jared stepped back, stumbling into the shadows, unnoticed. Until one man paused, looking around sharply. His eyes swept the alley. Where's the man who helped him? The man barked to his team. But Jared was already gone, slipping down the alley, his blanket gone, his body colder than ever. He said nothing. Wanted nothing. He had